Each year on Trax TV, we try to come up with new and interesting stories about what's going on in the off-road world and how to get the most out of your ATV or side-by-side. And speaking about getting the most, today I'm going to talk to you about low range. On a CVT belt-driven ATV or side-by-side, you will most likely find a low-range setting. Whether you're riding a sporty new Can-Am Commander or an early 90s Polaris Sportsman, your vehicle will almost certainly have low range. But many riders don't know when to use low range, or in some cases, what it's for. And the truth is, a lot of myth and assumptions swirl around the use of low range. First off, we need to understand what low range is and what it does to your continuously variable transmission, or CVT, to make it work. And understanding the clutches is how we're going to find this information out. A CVT transmission on an ATV or side-by-side constantly alters the position of the belt on the primary and secondary clutches. As the belt pushes up and down the face of the clutches, you move faster or slower in a process of continuous gear changes. By this I mean each incremental change of the belt's location on the clutch faces is in essence a change in gearing. Just like a manual shifted ATV changes gears by shifting a lever, a CVT-equipped ATV or side-by-side is constantly changing gears via the belt's position on both clutches. The benefit of a CVT transmission is its ability to continuously optimize the clutching or gearing of the ATV, ensuring that the power being delivered to the ground is happening in the most optimal way for the amount of throttle being inputted. The gear selector on your ATV or side-by-side will most likely have high, low, neutral, and reverse. And while the clutches are continuously variable, the drive selector is using actual gears within the driveline. Your high range selection uses a high ratio gear, while the low range uses a low ratio gear. This range selection does not alter the way the clutches work, but rather the output of the secondary or driven clutches' power to the wheels. So when is the right time to shift into low range? Well, preferably before you smell the rubber of your belt burning, and always when you're working your ATV or side-by-side hard. Certain trail situations will require the use of low range, not only to increase your belt's life, but also to help you gear down and climb over objects. Because you still have all the available torque and power of the motor, but with a lower gear ratio, the engine is able to turn the wheels easier when under load, making tough rocky climbs or extra thick mud crawling much easier and far more maneuverable. A good rule of thumb for when to use low range is whenever you're carrying something heavier than your ATV's racks or side-by-side's box is rated to carry, whenever you're snow plowing or using tracks, and in any vertical condition where you're climbing over rocks or stumps. Just because you come to a steep hill or long muddy section does not mean you need to shift into low range. Modern ATVs and side-by-sides will tackle 90% of the trail you encounter on a day's ride in high range without causing damage to the belt. Low range is a great tool available to you, however don't let it be a hindrance because of what you've heard others say. Enjoy your ATV, and when required, use low range to help increase belt life and get you through tough trail sections, or to help you descend extra steep hills. There's no doubt that low range is a benefit to have on your ATV or side-by-side when working them hard. But truth be told, here at Trax Television, we use low range very infrequently on a day's trail ride, and only in the situations I've outlined here today.
Can't get enough of Trax Television? Log on to DirtTraxTV.com to watch all your favorite episodes and visit our Facebook page to share your thoughts with other fans of Dirt Trax. Trax Television has been sponsored by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicle. Can-Am, the ride says it all. And by Arctic Cat, share our passion.